The Scottsbluff City Council approves a first-of-its-kind grant. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the city of Scottsbluff has awarded its first Microtip Grant to a local couple looking to open a salon in downtown Scottsbluff. Economic Development Director Sharia Toof explained what exactly a Microtip Grant is.
The Microtip process is fairly simple. It works just like a regular tip, allowing the city to pledge up to 15 years of that increased property tax revenue resulting from the development to the payment of certain costs associated with that development. So the Microtip just simply gets to span all of those steps, going to CRA, to Planning Commission, back to CRA, and then to you guys. But they do have, it has to meet a certain set of requirements.
Becky Horn told the City Council that the building, which was constructed in 1918, was certainly not up to code and was in terrible condition when they began renovations.
This is the scary part. This is what happens when people don't go to code. So for how many years, I don't know, the entryway it's like having concrete on a toothpick. So everything was completely and totally held up right here. So we've had to go through and completely gut a lot further than we thought we would. But our contractor is amazing.
The goal is to turn the space into prime 15 professional studio suites.
But it started as a mission for me to find a place for my daughter who just graduated with certification in permanent cosmetics. I'm a massage therapist. We found this building. It has way more space than we originally needed, but that's where the labor of love kind of started. We found that there was a definite need for this type of project because there are so many individuals and people in the service industry looking to just rent an office space so they can provide services instead of working for somebody.
Horn says she wants to keep some of the original charm of the building, including the vintage ceiling tiles. The council gave unanimous approval for the Microtip Grant, and Horn said there's about 6 weeks left until they cross the finish line. Well, Nebraska Public Power District has finalized the route for the Scottsbluff Power Project, a new 10-line, 115-kilovolt transmission line around the west side of town, connecting 2 load-serving substations serving the city. NPPD project manager Paul Brune discussed the process to this point during appearances this week in front of the county commissioners and the Scottsbluff City Council, as property owners along the route will soon be contacted, which gives them a chance to ask questions or provide additional information on their property and land use. Scottsbluff County Board's Chair Ken Meyer asked Brune what residents along the route were concerned about.
Were they more concerned about the overhead lines or actual construction work?
A little bit of both, I think, Ken. And the construction work, we will compensate them and make them whole after the project is done and do our absolute best to work with them doing that. The visual part of it, there was some concerns maybe. Was this due to future development of my property? Will that inhibit what I'm doing? We got a pretty narrow right-of-way.
Right-of-way agents will be contacting property owners discussing right-of-way entry agreements for environmental, engineering, and structural assessments, and crews will also use drones to conduct surveys along the route. Construction is tentatively scheduled to begin in the fall or winter of 2024 and to be completed in the spring of 2025. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
Welcome back. We've reached the halfway point of Scottsbluff County's first murder trial in more than 5 years. 57-year-old Gregory Moore is charged with second-degree murder and use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony for the 2022 stabbing death of 23-year-old Fernando Camacho McBride. On Tuesday, the jury heard testimony from Dr. Pete Schilke, the pathologist who performed the autopsy, and approximately 100 pieces of evidence, including photos from the crime scene, were entered into the record. The trial is expected to last until Friday, and if he's found guilty, Moore could face 20 years to life in prison. Well, sticking with the course now is a 26-year-old Terrytown woman who has been on the run from law enforcement since January is back in custody and awaits sentencing. Tiffany Anaya had been facing charges including attempted escape, flight to avoid arrest, fentanyl distribution, and meth possession, but ultimately she pleaded no contest to 4 charges, including distribution of fentanyl and possession with intent to distribute fentanyl. Anaya was slated to be sentenced earlier this year, but failed to show. However, she was apprehended and booked back into the Scottsbluff County Detention Center on Monday afternoon. She faces up to 50 years in prison on both convictions when she appears before District Judge Leo Dobrovolny for sentencing. And a Bayard student has been selected to attend American Legion Auxiliary Cornhusker Girls State next month at UNL. The Bayard American Legion Auxiliary Unit 200 selected Isabel Mogg after application and interview processes were completed. During her week-long stay, Mogg will study local, county, and state government processes in this nonpartisan political learning experience. Every spring, the American Legion Auxiliary Girls State program provides approximately 25,000 young women with a hands-on educational opportunity designed to instruct tomorrow's leaders in the privileges and duties of responsible citizenship.
Why love a rain garden? Let me count the ways. Rain gardens contain and filter water runoff while recharging our underground water supply. They provide habitat for birds, bees, and beneficial insects. Native perennials give 4 seasons of color and texture, beautifying a home while increasing its value. Established gardens are low-maintenance, low-water landscape features. Colorful, functional, and sustainable. Rain gardens. Brought to you by TriCity Stormwater. Our water, our responsibility.
This isn't just a beautiful hospital. It's the home to exceptional patient care. This is where specialty clinics meet your needs. This is where a friendly smile, a warm hand, and an empathetic ear exist to care for you. This is us. Box Butte General Hospital. Great things are happening here.
For this week's featured Pet of the Week, we meet Cartman, a 6-month-old domestic medium hair mix that's been at the Humane Society since late November. Staff says he loves food, but more importantly is looking for someone to be his best friend and give him reassurance that he'll be okay. They say he's a little nervous at first, but once he opens up, you have the perfect companion for the rest of your life. His adoption cost is $50, and that includes his neuter, microchipping, and all vaccinations. Plus, whoever adopts Cartman will also receive a $25 Murdoch's gift card to start spoiling him right away.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
Let's take a look at your midweek community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, based in Alliance, Nebraska, is the only intercity bus serving Nebraska Panhandle communities and Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Panhandle Trails operates a regularly scheduled bus service, assisting you in making connections with Greyhound bus partners, regional airports, healthcare, employment and education opportunities, shopping, family, friends, and more. Panhandle Trails serves the general public of all ages and offers accessible transportation for those with special mobility needs. Let Panhandle Trails help you make your connection. Call 308-761-8747.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored, full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tonight, a celebratory event was held last week in Sydney aimed at improving the lives of older residents. On Thursday, a groundbreaking ceremony for the new Sydney Regional Medical Center's long-term care facilities was held. In attendance were SRMC board members, dignitaries, and community members. Board Chairman Bill Pyle says the $21 million facility will promote resident care and engagement.
It'll be nice for the residents of this nursing home to be within a little wheelchair ride of the clinic. Physical therapy will be able to just walk down and provide services, and it's just going to be a lot more efficient and work well. Plus the old facility needed a lot of work done to it and fixed up. And we'll be happy to start out with a brand new one here shortly.
Extended Care Facility Administrator Judy Frerick says this project is a dream come true.
This has been a dream in the making for so many years, like Jason Pettick had referred to. Our residents have had memories built in this building, but they have been dreaming about having rooms to themselves, because we're going to have more private rooms, single occupancy rooms than the double occupancy. We're bringing it back to the hospital, and that is such a benefit so that we can go to a majority of our appointments just through a hallway.
The new long-term care facility is projected for completion in the fall of 2024 and is funded in its entirety through low-interest loans from the USDA and local lenders. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.